Angeli E. Dela Cruz.
And I am John Abigail M. Matundo.
We are third-year BS Ed Mathematics students from Mindanao State University, General Santos City. In this short video, we will discuss direct instruction.
In this topic, our objectives are: first, define and explain direct instructions. Second, identify the core principles of direct instruction. Lastly, enumerate the 6 functions or steps of direct instructions. Based on Zig Engelman's theory of instruction, the term direct instruction is a teacher-directed teaching method, and it also refers to instructional approaches that are structured, sequenced, and led by teachers, and the presentation of academic content to students by teachers, such as in a lecture or demonstration. And take note, it does not include active learning such as workshops or case study. In other words, the teachers are directing the instructional process, or instruction is being directed at students. While a classroom lecture is perhaps the image most commonly associated with direct instruction, the term encompasses a wide variety of fundamental teaching techniques and potential instructional scenarios.
For example, is when a teacher teaches the steps on how to solve using a certain mathematical formula, or when a teacher demonstrates how to use a microscope. Presenting a video or film to students could be considered a form of direct instruction. Even though the teacher is not actively instructing students, the content and presentation of material was determined by the teacher. Direct instruction is based on 2 core principles. First, all students can learn when taught correctly, regardless of history and background. Which is true, because when teachers explain exactly what students are expected to learn and demonstrate the steps needed to accomplish a particular academic task, students learn more. And secondly, all teachers can be successful, given effective materials and presentation techniques.
There are 6 functions or steps of direct instruction. First, we have introduction or review. So the first step in direct instruction is for the teachers to gain the students' attention. Sometimes, this step is referred to a focusing event and is meant to set the stage for learning to take place. At this stage, the students are informed as to what the learning goal or outcome is for the lesson and why it is important or relevant. This step can either take the form of introducing new information or building upon what has been previously learned or covered as a review. In this step, the teacher may present the lesson objectives. Second is development. Once the goal is communicated to students, the teacher models the behavior, knowledge, or skills that students are ultimately expected to demonstrate. This step includes clear expectations of any information with as many examples as needed to assure students' understanding of what is to be learned. During this step, the teacher also checks for understanding by asking key questions relative to what is to be learned or by eliciting questions from students. At this stage, teachers can also use prompts, just like visual aids, multimedia presentations, and more, to encourage students to process information successfully. Third is guided practice. Once the teacher is confident that enough appropriate examples and explanations of the material to be learned has been modeled with sufficient positive student response to the instructions, activities, or tasks can be assigned for students to practice the expected learning with close teacher monitoring. It is at this stage that teacher can offer assistance to students who have not yet mastered the material and who may need mere direct instruction from the teacher.
The fourth step is what we call closure. Closure brings the whole lesson to a conclusion and allows the teacher to recap what was covered in the lesson. It is meant to remind students about what the goal for instruction was and for preparing them to complete the independent practice activities that are then assigned by the teacher. Next, we have independent practice. After guided practice and receiving the right feedback, all students are ready to apply the new learning material on their own. Independent practice gives the students the repetition they need to integrate the new information or skills with previous knowledge or skills. Independent practice also helps students to become automatic in their use of the skills. During this phase, students usually go through two stages, the unitization and automaticity. During unitization, students are putting the skills they have learned together and use them in new situations. And as they keep on practicing, students reach the automatic stage where they are successful and rapid and no longer have to think through each step. The last step is what we call evaluation. Evaluation tools are used to assess students' progress, either it is occurring or as a culminating event to any given lesson. Evaluation of students' learning provide the necessary feedback to both the teacher and the student and can be used to determine whether expected learning outcomes have been met or have to be revisited in future lessons. And that's it! That's the end of our short discussion about direct instruction. To assess if you have learned something, get a pen and a paper and let's take a short quiz!
Question number 1. Fill in the blank. Direct instruction is a blank teaching method. This means that the teacher stands in front of a classroom and presents the information.
The correct answer is teacher directed. Question number 2 is answerable by true or false. Direct instruction include active learning activities such as workshops or case study. The statement is false because direct instruction does not include active learning activities such as workshops or case study.
Question number 3. Multiple choice. Blank is an example of direct instruction. A. Mind mapping. B. Lecture. C. Brainstorming. Or D. Workshops.
The answer is letter B, lecture. Question number 4. What are the two stages during independent practice? The first stage is what we call unitization. The second one is automaticity. If you could recall, enumerate the 6 functions or steps of direct instruction. The 6 functions or steps of direct instruction starts with introduction or review, followed by development, guided practice, closure, independent practice, and ends with evaluation or review. Did you get all the correct answers? If yes, congratulations! That's all we have for you today. We hope you learned something new. Keep on learning and stay safe, everyone. Don't forget to give this video a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching!